everyone. First Alert Meteorologist Scott Gagliardi here with your First Alert Weather Extra on this Friday morning. It is windy out there. It's very chilly. Our temperatures, they're anywhere from 20 to 25 degrees cooler right now than you were this time yesterday. So, yeah, not only is this a 24-hour change, but it feels more like a season change. With the 50s we were feeling like yesterday, this morning, some towns feeling like the low teens, the majority of us feeling like the 20s. Everybody feeling below freezing, but the big weather story is the wind. Today, we've already had wind gusts in Willimantic up and over 50, near 50 for Hartford, down through Meriden, New Haven, out towards Groton, Bridgeport. I mean, there's anywhere you are. We've had plenty of power outages. The last check, up and over 10 to 11,000 customers with Eversource without power. Plenty of power line issues and tree issues. And those continue throughout the day today. Let's get straight to the maps, though, because Torrington, yeah, you can see that flag blowing around in the wind there. It's the camera as well. I'll just jump out of that quick because that is a pretty dizzying looking camera there. Live shot in New Haven. Notice the flag, but the wind speeds, west-northwest at 23. And look behind that. Check how fast that those clouds are moving. You can see it on a camera. I mean, that's pretty tough. That just only goes to show you the wind speeds. Yeah, they're busy at the surface on the ground, but they are windy high above the surface as well. Any flights out today likely on the bumpier side getting to that cruising altitude. As far as what it looks like in Hartford, yeah, the wind speeds there very elevated out of the northwest at 20. Remember, those are sustained. The wind gusts much higher than that temperature of 35 is feeling more like 25. Waterbury, same deal with the wind speeds. It's bright out there. Guess that's the only caveat. Temperature, though, very chilly. Nothing like the 50s we were feeling like yesterday. Now, those 30s. Want to show you what it looked like this morning as well. Here's an early morning look at some flurries right outside of our station here. So if you were up, this was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. If you were up at that hour, maybe forgot to take the trash out or letting the dog out for a late night walk. Yeah, some of these flurries affected parts of the state. They did not amount to anything, but it was quite the sight to see. Now, this was a rocky hill, but we had a little snow shower make its way all the way up from Litchfield County and traversed the state towards the Rocky Hill area. Looking forward, we can't wait for this weekend because our daylight saving time finally begins Sunday. That sunset jumps from the 5 o'clock hour to the 6 o'clock hour setting, 6:51. It rises a bit later, 7:12. But still, we'll take it considering how much more daylight we'll see later on in the evening hours. Your 24-hour temperature change, like I mentioned, it's very impressive, anywhere from 10 to 20 degrees cooler right now. And the thing you have to remember is this 24-hour temperature change does not take into account the feels-like temperature where you could knock off another 10 to 15. So add 10 to 15 degrees to these numbers. And yeah, we're talking 20 to 30 degrees colder right now. Look at these 30s. Remember, we're still in winter for about 2 more weeks. And yeah, it's feeling like it out there. These 30s certainly feel like they're colder because of the wind out there. I mean, our wind speeds, they're sustained out of the north and west, 20 to 30, well within that wind advisory criteria, but they're gusting up and over 30 to 40. They've relaxed slightly over the past 4 or 5 hours, but we're expecting them to pick up once again later on this morning and into the afternoon hours. Look at Groton, now up to 47 miles per hour. Your temperatures, remember the 30s we just looked at? Yeah, they're feeling like the mid-teens to near 20. 27, that feels like from Meriden down through New Haven. 24 from Bradley down through Brainerd. Very, very chilly out there. Now, your feels like trend, as much as our high temperatures climb into the mid-40s today, well, along the shoreline, you're only going to feel like the mid and upper 30s. In the hill towns, barely getting out of the 20s today. So, yes, a very, very chilly day. You're going to need the winter jacket from start to finish. Our wind advisory is in effect now. It started last night. And I'm sure if you were a light sleeper, you heard that wind out there, whether it was your wind chimes or right up against your house. Any trees out there, yeah, you heard those. And it goes until this wind advisory anyway through this evening. For those continued wind gusts, 40 to 50, they really peak in the late morning and early afternoon hours. Here's a look at your wind gust trend and notice through 1 o'clock, that's when we'll have our highest wind gusts. They begin to slowly subside as we head into the overnight hours, but we remain breezy overnight. And then it's another windy day on our Saturday. Instead of the 40 to 50 mile per hour wind gusts, though, it's still 30 to 40, so a bit less, but still noticeable. The reason for that is a big area of deepening low pressure to the north of Connecticut and a high pressure to the south. You get that tight pressure gradient in between. You see those white lines in between the low and the high, we call those isobars. Those are lines of equal pressure, and when they're close together, that's when we know we're getting some wind out there. Notice how tight they are right now. Coming up for tomorrow, still fairly close together, but notice the low pressures and the high pressure are becoming farther apart. So when we see that, that's when we notice our winds relax a little bit. Tomorrow, we're still breezy, even on Sunday a bit as well. It's really not going to be until Monday that those winds begin to subside, and especially into Tuesday. But let me tell you, by Tuesday, our temperatures, they'll be trending well above average. We should be 45. That's our normal high this time of year. And we're headed in the direction of 50s and eventually 60s for the middle part of next week. Man, that's going to feel good. And it's almost right on cue. Remember, we have daylight saving time coming in, so it's going to feel good having those 60s with more daylight. But officially, spring comes in on Thursday, March 20th, so just under 2 weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday, at precisely 5:01. That's when the sun crosses over from the southern hemisphere, where they're still experiencing summer, or technically fall, but they'll be heading into winter as we head into spring, which I'm very, very excited for. Now, Futurecast, First Alert Futurecast shows later on this morning a couple clouds. They won't be producing any rain or snow showers, anything like that. But notice what happens late tonight. We're talking overnight, past midnight. Those clouds begin to increase, and you're waking up to mostly cloudy, overcast skies. Temperatures chilly, upper 20s in the hill towns, low to mid 30s for everybody else. And then anytime after, say, 7 or 8 o'clock, the chance exists for a few flurries or light snow showers. Here's 10 a.m., First Alert Futurecast depicting a couple of those light flakes out there. So if you're tuning in tomorrow morning with First Alert Meteorologist Scott Gagliardi, she'll possibly be tracking a few snowflakes out there. Very similar to what we saw this morning. They won't amount to anything, but certainly just Mother Nature just kind of reassuring you that, hey, we're still in winter. So another several days, about a week and a half left. Realistically, it's under 2. So we're getting there, and the temperatures will respond by the time we get to next week. Saturday's a breezy day. Tomorrow it's breezy, windy. Same deal into Sunday, but changes are not too far off. A couple clouds late Sunday also won't amount to anything. Your forecast highs today, unfortunately, well away from any spring-like temperatures. Their average, remember, our average is 45. It's exactly what we're forecasting in Enfield and the Hartford area. But the hill towns will be a bit cooler. And remember, it's going to feel like 10 to 15 degrees cooler, so it's chilly nonetheless. Your forecast lows tonight, still a bit breezy. It's mostly clear, and those clouds begin to increase late. We're talking after midnight with temperatures once again below freezing. Now, your First Alert 7-day forecasts. Windy today, still windy tomorrow. Daylight saving time comes in on early Sunday morning. Remember to set those clocks ahead. Your phone and everything does it for you, basically. But your car, your stove, the typical things, those will need to be set an hour ahead. And on Sundays, it's still a bit breezy. Temperatures upper 40s. Monday, that's when our warming trend begins, looking at those mid-50s. And then by Tuesday, the breeze returns, but it's a mild breeze, 62. Wednesday, a couple more clouds, looking at low to mid-60s as well. A chance for a shower on Thursday. Wednesday night into Thursday, not a big deal. Temperature's still mild, low 60s. So, yeah, get ready for the warmth. As much as we're not seeing it today, you will enjoy it on Tuesday. Realistically, even Monday, those 50s will feel nice. But if you haven't already downloaded our First Alert Weather app, make sure you do so. Head over to the App Store if you have an iPhone or any of those Samsung phones. Head to the Google Play Store and download the app. It is exactly what you'd want. For a day like today, we can send you any push notifications about the winds that will be very, very gusty throughout the day today. And continuing, even some of those flurries tomorrow, we'll be tracking them. You can track them on our First Alert Live radar on the app. And of course, you'll be able to check those temperatures, see how they trend over the next several days, especially once we get into next week with those 60s around. All right, guys, once again, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. If you're without power and maybe you're watching on your phone, really hope you get it back soon. Temperatures, they're chilly today, so bundle up and try and stay warm. At least it's sunny out there, right? All right. Well, TGIF, have a great day and a great weekend. We'll chat soon.